Greetings, greetings, greetings. I want to say thank you for tuning in to the Melanin Report 360. I'm your host, Deanne, and I wanted to let you know I finally got my hair cut. Yay! So the sister came through, I went over to the shop and she did exactly what I wanted her to do. A little curly stuff up here and a little fresh cut for at least 2 weeks maybe. And she will be able to cut the sides. Um, yeah, so this is my new do. My first cut for the new year. Yeah. So the first time I've been to her shop over in Glendale in like the end of November. It was way time. So thank you for allowing me to be on the air with a little bit of hot mess of my hair. But anywho, I am back and I took off yesterday because I was caught up in the inauguration, and I'm sure a lot of you were too. And so I said, well, let's come back on Thursday instead of coming in yesterday evening. I was kind of glued to the set, and I had a couple of appointments yesterday, so I did not see, because we have the 2 hour time difference. So I did not get a chance to see Amanda, Sister Amanda, she's a Harvard graduate. So I was like, did some research so I've got to watch it in its entirety probably tonight. But I know all of the reviews, it was just amazing, truly amazing. What a young talent and an elder. Obviously, she's been here before, and I want to give her a shout out because she did a magnificent work. Her work is just totally magnificent. So I want to watch it full, soup to nuts. So I'm going to do that probably when I get off the air. So thank you again for tuning in. The Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. Follow, share, like, subscribe. Follow, share, like, subscribe. So let's get into it. I want to, first of all, say, well, we're getting into the new year. I mean, the new year. We're getting into the weekend, so I will be back on Sunday. And I think all of next week, at least the majority of the week, I'm going to talk a little bit more deeply about melanin. Because we've been dealing with a lot of stuff, January 6th. It's just been chaos and confusion. And so hopefully we can exhale for at least a few moments with Biden Harris. Oh, let me read the disclosure before I get into it. So yeah, let me follow the rules here. So copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute, which may otherwise be infringing. So here we go. All right. So if you hear any background, I'm in the front. I'm positioned in my living room at the front of my townhome, and so we have a little bit of a busy stretch here. So I've gone upstairs, and I prefer being down here. It's a little bit more of a backdrop, other than being in my room of I don't know. It's still pretty much facing the same direction. So we'll give it a go right now on this evening. So I am going to talk about melanin a little bit more in detail, because this is the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. So like, share, subscribe, share, like, share, subscribe. So thank you again for tuning in. I'm going to just do a recap of all the festivities, the concert. It was definitely produced well, and the speeches were. I didn't listen to the entire Biden speech because of my appointments, but I will go a little bit more clearly into both Amanda and Biden and blah blah. So it was just really, I really want to take a moment in history to just say, okay, wow, at least on its face, we voted in or selected first Asian American, African American slash person of color, a female, woman. So I just wanted to take a moment to look at that as an optic. And I didn't want to take it for granted, because in my lifetime, I never would have thought I would have seen that. Because it's been so much male, 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 male. I'm not talking about stuff that comes in the mail. So it's just been up until 2008, white men. White men have been elected, selected, time in, time out, time in, time out. So every time we turn around, white male, different white male, but white male. So at least it's mixed up a little bit. And because of Biden's commitment and his selection process of letting it be known that it is representative of America. And so, at least on its face, I'll give him that, because he's been around a long enough time to say there's so much talent on this planet, and white men do not have all the answers. Okay. And diversity is better than the alternative, which we've seen the alternative time in and time out. And so I just wanted to recognize the achievement, the accomplishment of Kamala Harris. I was really surprised that her father should be still living. I was really surprised. Perhaps I missed it because I wasn't glued to the TV all day, all evening, but I did see her swearing in and blah, blah. But whether her father divorced their mother, blah, blah, I don't know all the details. Nobody does, but that is, I didn't see him in the audience. I'll just say that. I didn't see him in the stands. I didn't see him anywhere. They didn't even circle in on her father. I believe her father is still living. I believe he's probably, I can do a Google search, but I think it was about Yeah, he's probably in his early 80s. Um, because they both, her mother and father, did not have the children until they were both out of professional schools and so forth. So I think they were kind of late 20s, 30s, And so I believe he only has his two daughters. So I was really saddened if that is the case, if I didn't miss any particular um, optics of her, them saying, oh, this is her father, blah, blah, blah. Her mother's already passed on, and, this is the father. Because it took the union of the two. So I don't care, Papa's maybe, Papa's baby, Papa's maybe. But at the end of the day, you know, Curtis and Catherine came together, and here I am. Okay. So even though my father's passed on, whatever the deal is, that was such a monumental occasion and achievement. And I just hope that, I don't remember hearing anything about her father being there or an optic of, Kamala Harris's father. And, to achieve so much, she's around my age. So to achieve so much, you have to have the DNA of the two people. And then of course, they came together and produced sister and Kamala. And so I would hope, it's such a special moment for, her to be able to celebrate it along with her father. I just don't understand it. Hopefully it was a miss. I'm missing a piece, 5-second clip of her father. But clearly, Kamala, I'm just going to speak to you. I really think that I don't know all the details, but he's a part of your DNA. He's most definitely a part of your DNA. And so I hope you all reconcile, or if there's anything, especially with her mother passed on, and it was just sad because I never heard mention of her father. And so I just wanted to, not knowing the details, I'm not trying to assume I know any and all things about Kamala Harris, but I think such an occasion, such an occasion. And her mother obviously would have been there had she lived. I think it would be really good to show her father and obviously not the mother, but to be able to say this is part of my offspring. This is my father. This is, and just shout it out to the world. I mean, my father was not perfect, but in whatever, he was a perfect father for me. I'll just say that. And so I can't imagine her missing that, you know. But anyway, it was a very, very special day. Um, the music was cool. A lot of messaging in the music, which I kind of liked. I wish I heard some Incognito, my UK band, my favorite UK band, and then Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's my favorite US band. But we they had some real good music. I could have done without maskless Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks got COVID-19, what, 3 or 6 months ago? And I was really surprised that, I know he didn't have a lot of people around him, but I was just surprised on the optics, because I know that it wasn't too long ago that he and his wife had COVID. So, but yeah, that was, okay. And, the fireworks was really, really good. And I'm not a huge fireworks person. I've never been, because I believe when I was really a youngster, a child, one of my good friends, I'm just going on memory, uh, was injured with setting off some firecrackers. So, I mean, obviously it was professionally done, but that's not a big deal breaker. I know we could have had it, obviously, but if I would not have missed it, yeah, I believe that for whatever reason, perhaps a sense of decency from the White House built by slaves. I just wanted to make sure that the first 100 days, excuse me, the first 100, that's the example. I was just giving you, like, motorcycle going by. But yeah, I think the first 100 days is going to be safe. You know, I, Joe's been around for decades upon decades. So he's like close to my mother's age. I think he's like 78 or something. So, he has, some good ideas, but, I don't want them to infringe on my personal right to perhaps not get the vaccine. So I'm just throwing that out there. But I don't know if it is going to be what they decide to do, they meaning Kamala and Biden. But wait and see, wait and see. I am still of the believer of writing letters, reparation letters, writing to your senators, your congress people, etc. And we have to get change. Change is going to come from within. It's going to become from the grassroots. So the more letters we write, um, I'm not saying a better chance, but let's just see. Let's just see. We've waited this long, but if Kamala rolls it out, because I know that she said something about when you help. I remember her on an interview, when you help um, low income or this and that and the other, you automatically help Black and brown people. So that was like, I don't want to say an excuse, but she didn't want to hit the nail on the head. She was trying to divert it, a little hit here, a little hit here. But clearly, we are in need of reparations. Um, the country is continuing to change, because we went from the sense of having the states representing, the Republicans were dominating the House and the Senate. And so now she will be able to break the tie if there is one. So, let's wait and see. I'm gonna give it 100 days. I'm giving it 100 days, and we really need to look at reparations again. We need to form a committee, and if anyone's out there, contact me, because we really need to have some serious conversations about reparations. Enough is enough. We've put African American women / melanated women, we 90%, 95%, we vote the block of the Democratic Party. So they can count on our vote. So we need to get something from it. Um, enough has been done. We sent two people from Georgia. I didn't think I would see that. We have two Democrats from Arizona, and we just, well, the gal who's already been in there, and then Mark Kelly, and so we have. I think she's going to be up for a reelection, Kristen Sinema. So, there's been some changes. I'm not going to say not in the system that we live in. There have been some changes, hopefully for the better. I feel that Trump I said I wasn't going to say his name, but it was really, really significant change. So it's going to look like a government. It will look like House of Representatives, Senate, blah, 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 communicating, not favoritism. And it was just enough. It was just so over the top. And so hopefully he's playing golf, and on to the next subject or the next reality show, because I'm convinced that he was treating this as reality show. One moment. So we will see. We will see. We will see. So we're not going to, put Kamala and Biden, they're not off the hook, because we have to get something for our vote. We voted them in, melanated women, we voted them in, hands down. And we need to write letters to our senators, our congresspeople. And even if it's just, we need reparations, if it's just like one sentence, but really, we do. We do. We can start businesses. And I was talking to a friend here, like the last 24 hours, 48 hours. And she said, well, Deanne, perhaps we can give student loans. That would be a start. So if you've gone to college, you've got $60,000 in student loans, let's just say, or 70,000, that would be a forgiving. Would be we would forgive that loan. So even if it's like 20, oh, no, it's 35 million of us or so. That's not a whole lot of money in this picture. But now that could be one level of, if you go back to school, accredited college, blah, 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 you don't have to incur a cost. That would be the least that one would do and could do, because over 300 plus years, we built this country. So if we can get something, albeit, a small fraction, that would be tier one. And tier two may be, monetary. So we're going to look into 2 or 3 different tiers. So please reach out, please reach out, please reach out to me and my channel here, because we need to put some grassroots effort in what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve is reparations, to repair. We're not asking for a handout. This is energy that has already been spent in the community to build it up. And we were enslaved, brought to this country enslaved, and treated horrible upon horrible. We can't even stress the level of treatment. and mistreatment. So the time has come. We're now in 2021. So if not now, when? If not now, when? So it must be on the table. We must have conversation to the quote unquote higher ups to enact a policy that will help Black and Brown people, especially. I mean, I did my DNA. I think at the beginning of the year, because my mother and I did it. We did it at the same time, and you know, I'm definitely have the energy from North Carolina, probably kicking tobacco, that kind of thing. So our family tree is North Carolina, South Carolina. And so, early Americas, this was like 1700s. So this is where my lineage begins, and it was before that. But in this country, it started we settled in North Carolina. So I've got those receipts. I definitely have the receipts. And so if we have those receipts, and we have all the documentation, it shouldn't be a hard sell to say, hey, we need to be repaired. Our ancestors picked cotton. You name it, they did it. They built the White House, the all of the monuments, and I mean, what else do we need proof of? So the time has come. The time has come, and perhaps Kamala may, stretch out her wings and fly and consider the inevitable, and that's going to be reparations. So I'm not necessarily holding my breath, but it would be a very, very good, a good deal. It would be a very good deal. So I wanted to just take a moment to recognize the accomplishments, if that's how you see it, if the accomplishment was what you wanted, people may be selected or elected or selected. But nevertheless, they have a woman of color in the White House and Biden. It was kind of an odd match, but obviously it won. And I just wish them all the best in the realm of this country and the safety of our elected officials. Whether you believe these institutions or not, we just want the safety of the folks that we've quote unquote put in that office, those offices. And, I just hope not so much damage was done by the previous administration because they too played a huge, huge part. I talked about separating the children. This was so inhumane. Hence, um, January 6th, 2021. So inhumane, and so we hope that those children can be reunited with their parents, um, and that won't be a long term stain on our spiritual record, because everything that has happened over the course of hundreds of thousands of years, there's always a fingerprint of good, a fingerprint not so good, you know. And so it's just like reparations. That's a stain on this country because it has never been repaired. And so we should see that as a stain because no one's trying to do anything about it. It's like, oh, well, get over it. You know, we don't have to pay anything back. But think about the years upon years of free labor, generations of free labor. And so we need to raise the consciousness of um, folks that did us wrong and our ancestors wrong, and they should want to do the right thing. They should want to do the right thing. And this is really, horrific. This is really horrific. But I'm going to give them 100 days. I'm actually going to give them 100 days. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, I don't know if I have anything else. I just wanted to raise up Sister. She's a Harvard graduate, 22 years on the planet, and such an achievement, such an achievement. And just I think I read something that she had, I don't want to say learning disability. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think there was something going on around that. But her mother kind of, she received a lot of help in the reading and all that. And you couldn't tell anything, yesterday. So kudos to her. Outstanding mom, outstanding family, and outstanding, we definitely have to, the village raises the family, you know. So I think that's it for me. I'm going to be back on Sunday, a brand new topic of, I'm going to probably just go to the fundamentals, basic 101 about melanin. And I don't want to get lost in the sauce because my topic, my umbrella is the Melanin Report 360. And so, because everything that's been going on to date, just chaos and confusion. So now, hopefully, we're going to fast forward from that. And so we can do something a little bit different because we're going to discuss benefits of melanin. And that's all I need to say. So hey, stay tuned, stay tuned. So thank you again for tuning in. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Like, follow, share, subscribe. And I'm going to do some stuff on some of my other platforms. So you should probably be getting a couple of, not so much invites, but a little bit more nudge on my show so that you're aware of the time and kind of come on a little bit earlier. Today was like 6:35, and hopefully you're subscribing so you'll get a ding when I go live. And if you can't tune in at that moment, just make sure you subscribe, like, share, and that way you can come back to it if you have something else going on. All right. So peace, love, and we have a new administration. So let's just, like I gave the previous administration like 100 days, and all hell broke loose. So this administration definitely deserves at least another 100 days, from today. So we will be back on Sunday. Have a wonderful, safe, positive, incredible weekend. I will see you a little bit early on Sunday. I believe I'm going to come on at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So set and that's 4 p.m. It's going to be 6 p.m. on the Eastern side of the world. So East Coast, East Coast, East Coast. So thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you have a safe, wonderful weekend. And take care. Peace and love.